I am Anil Kumar. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It is my passion to share with you the knowledge about mathematics. Last 15 years, we have uploaded more than 20,000 videos, and I'm glad that we have more than 200,000 subscribers. There has been request of putting up videos based on locus and construction. Let me thank this wonderful software, which is a free service by Triumph Cloud, which I'm going to use to illustrate how do we construct angles, how do we bisect angles, how do we construct parallel lines, perpendicular lines, and some quadrilaterals. We'll begin with right bisector of segment and angle bisector. So I'll also show you how to use this software to show the geometrical constructions. So let's say we take up a segment of 6 centimeters. So we have a ruler surface here. So we'll take this ruler here. Now this ruler can be extended. Okay, fine. So let's make it big and bold. So we'll go for 6 inches. We can see both units in centimeters as well as in inches. We'll go with inches. So let us say we are going to construct a segment AB whose length is 6 inches. So that is the segment AB. You can write A and B also here. So these are the characters. So once you select a character, then you can just type it out. So that's simple. If you want, you can rearrange them um, kind of like this. They can be moved, right? So okay. So you can point at it and then move it. That's the way. This is the first time I'm using it, and so slightly difficult, but I think very good. Perfect. So we're going to see how do we bisect this segment. Well, very simple. We need a compass, right? So let's get the compass now. So that is the compass for us. Now this can be opened up, kind of like this. To bisect, we need to have compass wide open, right? So that means I'll have to increase the size of this, right? Okay, so let's see how to do it. Right, so we have to keep one arm, well, the needle there. So let me just open this up a bit more, right? So what do we do with this? We have to put an arc here, so a wider will be better. We can also change the color of this. Let's make this green, for example. Okay. So now what I'll do here is that we will actually move it in a way so that we form a semicircular arc, right? So to move, this is the point. So if I move like this, we have an arc here, as you can see, so wide arc. Now with the same, exactly same width of this compass, we have to now place it at the other end, which is point B, right? And then again, uh, rotate it. So this time it will go from here, and there you go. You should ensure that the arc is cut so that you get a point, and then the beginning of the compass should be exactly at B. Perfect. So that is how we'll do. Now we can move it. The two semicircular arcs cut at the points, and those are the points of our interest, correct? So fine. Now let us join these 2 points. We can also label them. So let me label them as P and Q. So let us say this is our point P and the other is Q. Joining these, we get the right bisector of the segment AB. Now to join them, we'll take this line. We can actually select the width of the line and the color also. So let me use this color, which is darker blue, and we might need a ruler, but we can see this. So it's better to use the ruler. But anyway, I'll just join it with this line. Okay, there you go. So you can see I'm going through these 2 points, and there we have the right bisector. So PQ becomes the right bisector of the segment AB. So the steps involved are that you have to open your compass slightly more than the half, then make a semicircular arc, place it once at A, the second time at B, and then the points where it intersects. Those are the key points which, when joined by a line, that line will bisect the segment AB in two equal halves, and the line will be perpendicular, right? So we have a perpendicular lines, and that is the line bisector. So I hope these steps are absolutely clear. So what we have done here is part A, which is the right bisector part. So we've done this, right? Now let's look into the angle bisector. Well, we do have 90 degrees angle. Let us see how do we bisect this angle. So let me again select the compass. We don't need that wide a compass here, so we'll just reduce the width of this, keeping the stylus at the intersection, which is the point where we want to make a 45 degrees angle, which will be half of 90 degrees, correct? So now I can change the ink. Let me take up another color here. So now again, we are going to rotate this with a fixed arc, cutting the two lines at the 2 points. Now, what we need to do to bisect, we can keep it here. If you want, you can extend this width, but it is no harm in using the same also, right? So we're going to make an arc with placing the compass at one of these points of intersections, correct? So as you can see, we will just keep it exactly at this point, and now right there, right? Okay, and now we're going to mark an arc with the same radius. We'll mark from the other side also. You get the idea, right? Okay, so let me just first rotate it. That is it. So these two arcs intersect, and that is the point of our interest. We can now take the line, join it. Let me put it on this side. Okay. Perfect. So let's take this line. So I'm giving it another color. Let it be red color this time. And we can join with the center to the point of intersection of those two arcs. And that becomes the right bisector of 90 degrees. So that should be 45 degrees. You get the idea, right? So what we have done here is divided the line AB into exactly two halves with a line perpendicular, and that is called the right bisector, right? So it bisects at C. Now the angle at C, we can check the construction with the protector. There you go. We have a protector also here. So let's bring it here and check how accurately this has been drawn. Perfect. As you can see here, 90 degrees, right? So we do have 90 degrees, which is this one, correct? And there you see 45 degrees, perfect. So we have 90 and 45 degrees angles, as you can see. So that matches. So that is how we can actually do. And I think this is a fairly good software since I'm using it for the first time and I could really do it. Perfect. So let me just say thanks to the software developers, Tramp Cloud, for letting us use this facility. But I hope you've understood how do we construct right bisector of a segment and also how do we bisect the angles. So with that, in this video specifically, we'll see how do we construct an angle of 60 degrees, 120 degrees, 90 degrees, and 30 degrees. So basically, we will also understand how do we bisect the angles. So let's begin by drawing the initial arm. So I'll take a ruler to draw a straight line. Let's say that's the ruler. So we'll take the line utility, draw a straight line. So on this line, we are going to make all these angles. So let us say we want to make an angle at the original point itself. Let's call this point as A. Okay. To make an angle of 60 degrees and 120 degrees, we need to have the compass. There you go. That's the compass for us. We can open this compass up. To make an angle of 60 degrees, what we really need to do is place the one tip of the compass on the point A and then rotate with a small width. So I just rotate it around because since we want to make 120 degrees, slightly more, right? Okay. Now with the same arc, same width of the compass, we'll cut at 2 points. So let's say, let's move it like this. That is one. Now once you make the first cut, then place the point on the cut and then mark the next cut, right? So okay, that's the way to make the cut. So in a way, we have now points which when connected to A will give us 60 degrees and 120 degrees, right? So let's take up this line now and draw the line. So I'll take a width of smaller width. That initial line was pretty wide. Okay, so we'll just connect with this point. So one of these angles will be 60 degrees. And then the next one will connect it with this. And that will make it 60 plus 60. That gives us 120 degrees. Perfect. So we got 60 degrees and 120 degrees. Let me highlight what we have already done so far. So we have done 60 degrees and we have also got 120 degrees. Now to make 90 degrees, what do we need? We need to do bisect the angles basically, right? Correct? So basically between 60 and 120, this angle will have to bisect. So let me label. It is better to label. So we have this point. Let's call this point somewhere here as B. A point on this as C. A point here as D. So we'll have to bisect the angle. The angle which we are interested in bisecting is CAD. Correct? So we are going to bisect the angle CAD. Okay. To bisect, we again need the compass. Place it at the point where the arc cuts, right? And we just need to bisect. So from here, we can move this. Let me adjust the width of this. Perfect. Well, this could be any angle, not necessarily we have to use this, right? And then we'll put it on the other side. Say bisect. Perfect. And we can now, so we get the point where the arcs cut. Joining them, we'll get the 90 degrees angle. There you go. So we have made 60 degrees, 120 degrees, 90 degrees. And now, how do we make 30 degrees? Well, 30 degrees we can get by bisecting the 60-degree angle, correct? So we are going to now bisect the 60-degree angle to make 30 degrees. For that, let me just open this wider. Let's change the color. So we can form an arc here. It cuts the line AB and AC. From these 2 points, we'll place the compass at the point of intersection and then again move it. So when you make these arcs, they will intersect at a point, and that point, when joined with A, will give us the angle bisector. And since we had 60 degrees earlier, so the angle bisector will be 30 degrees. Is that clear to you? Okay, so we'll again take the line and we may use this color. All right, so again using black color this time. That becomes the bisector, and the angle which we have just got should be how much? Yes, 30 degrees. So this particular angle which we have here is 30 degrees. And so what we have done here is we created first the angle 60 degrees and then 120 degrees. That is, open up an arc and with the same width, cut that arc. The first point gives you 60 degrees, the next one gives you 180 degrees when we see counterclockwise from the initial arm AB, correct? Bisecting DAC, we get 90 degrees angle. And by bisecting the 60-degree angle, we get 30 degrees angle. You see the point. So that is how we could construct all these angles very easily. I hope the steps are absolutely clear. We are going to construct parallel lines in this particular video. Let me thank all the viewers and subscribers for watching my videos on YouTube channel. We had been maintaining these videos for last 15 years, free of cost for all of you, and I hope you're really enjoying them. This is a new series which we have for GCSE students. And now, to construct parallel lines, we're going to show you how can we construct parallel lines using three different methods, right? So method number one is to use two perpendiculars, and then we'll talk about method number two, where we are going to use transverse lines. You remember, when you have parallel lines with a transverse line, the corresponding angles being equal means it's a confirmation that they are parallel, correct? Method number three will make a rhombus. Rhombus has opposite parallel sides and also equal sides. So these are the three different methods which we are going to discuss and learn how do we construct parallel lines. So the first method involves two perpendicular line, right? So that's interesting. So basically what we have is that we'll have one particular line. Let's call this line as L. So let me just draw this straight line using a ruler. So again, this is a very good software which helps us do so many things. I encourage you to use it, right? So that's a wonderful software. I'm a first-time user here, so but still I think I can use it. I know that's great. So for parallel lines, just draw a line of any length, right? So we have a line. Now let us say we want to draw another line which also passes through this point. Let's say this point, right? So we are given a point here, okay? So that's just filled up a point. So let's call this line as line L, and the point as the point P. Okay. So we have a point and a line. So to make a perpendicular line, what can we do? The point is external. So from external point, what we can do here is we need a compass for sure. So this utility has a compass. So we'll take the compass, keeping one end on the point, extending the compass so that it reaches the line, will form an arc, correct? That's the whole idea. So let me just pull this down a bit. Okay, so you can rotate this. Okay, that's fine. Let's keep it in this direction since we have to form an arc which should definitely cut the line, right? So that's the whole idea. So we have opened it up enough. We can actually increase it more. No, yes, there you go. To make an arc, we can also select a color here. So let me select green color to form an arc from P, and let's say this is the arc. Clearly, it cuts at 2 points. Let's call these points as A and B, okay? So we just call them as A and B. We'll call this point as A and the other point as B. Fine. So these are the 2 points for us. Now, from these points on the opposite side, we have to again make an arc, right? So when you have an arc, it has to cut in the center somewhere. So that could be good enough. So that's an arc from point B. Keeping the same width, that is kind of important, and placing it on the point A will again construct the arc. As you can see, the arc cuts at a point. Let's call this point as, let's say C, right? Or let's say P and Q will be good. Let me call this as Q. Now joining P and Q will give us the perpendicular from P to the given line, right? So there you go. So we'll have from P, let's choose a color. Let's say light blue, let's take it. This is a good color. Okay, so let's say that's the point and we are going through this. Okay, there you go. So as you can see, we have drawn a line PQ which is perpendicular to the given line L and it goes through the point P. Perfect. Now to get a parallel line, we basically need a perpendicular at P to the given line. Well, let's call this line as M, right? So I'm just calling this line as M. And now to make a perpendicular here, what are we going to do? Well, again, need our compass, placing the compass here. We need to reduce this width. Okay, there you go. And we'll make a semicircle kind of thing here. We'll go from this side. Let's reduce it a bit more since our line is slightly shorter. That's good. Perfect. So now we can make a semicircle. It will cut the line M at 2 points. Now keeping the stylus at one of the points of intersection, I'm further going to increase this width of the compass. Okay, there you go. Let me change this color. So we'll form an arc, right? So we'll form an arc somewhere here. The idea is to make a perpendicular line to the line M. Now again, same width is very important. Keep it on the other point. And now we can actually cut the arc. Perfect. So you have this intersection, as you can see. Let me keep it on the side. And now I can draw a line. So I'm using red color this time. So from here, joining this, you can use a ruler also, right? So ruler will be better, but I'm just going to stand it like this. Okay. There you go. So through these 2 points, as I've shown here, we have drawn a line which will be parallel to the given line because 2 lines are perpendicular. You get the idea, right? So, well, the better option was to use the ruler. Okay, kind of avoided, but that was better. Okay, but I think you got an idea. So you're given the line L and an external point P. From the external point, make an arc which will cut the line. So it should be long enough, right? The width should be enough so that it cuts the line at 2 points A and B. Keeping the compass at A and B with the same width, you get the point Q. Now join P and Q, extend it so that you can again make a perpendicular line at P. So we made an arc, semicircle, which cuts the line M at 2 points, opening the compass with a width slightly longer than earlier. You've cut the arc as shown and then join to form the line. Perfect. So that was our method number 1. Let us see the next method to do the same. Method number 2 involves transverse line. So let me again pull the ruler and draw a line. Let's say that is the line, and we have an external point. So let's say that is the external point. So we'll first draw a line which actually passes through the external point, right? So kind of like this, right? So anyway, so we'll go through this line. You see that? So our line is going through the external line. It doesn't matter. We can extend this. It doesn't matter, right? Okay. So let me label it. So we have a point P here. Let's say this is the line L. We'll call this point as say let's say Q. Now, what we need to do here is keeping the compass at Q will form an angle. And we are going to make the same angle at P. Let's see how. So this point P will make an angle, open up an arc. Let's choose the color green for it. And let me widen it more. Okay. And then we'll just make this arc. With the same width, we'll make an arc at P also. You get an idea, right? Okay, with the same width. So we are making this arc from P also. Right. Now we need to check how long is it. So that will give us the same length, right? So let me change this color and we'll see how long it is. Because we want these two arcs to be congruent. Right. So let me reduce this width so that matches. Okay. So that's the length, right? Okay. So we'll cut it. There you go. So this is the point when joined to P will give us a line which is going to be parallel. You get an idea, right? So let me just keep it on the side and draw this parallel line. Well, this time we are going to use the ruler. So we're going to use the ruler, put it over here, right? So that we get a perfect line here. So let me just sketch this line. So as you can see, we got parallel lines. Perfect. Mainly because the corresponding angles are equal. Do you see? So we have a transverse line, and what we ensured was that the corresponding angles are equal. And that is why these lines are parallel. You get an idea. So that becomes a second method to draw parallel lines, right? Still, we have one more, the third method, which is very interesting since I'm going to combine it with construction of rhombus. So when we say rhombus, it's a quadrilateral which has parallel and equal sides. So let me write down rhombus really means what? Opposite parallel sides and all equal length. So that's the whole idea, right? So let's begin with one line to begin with. So let me pull the ruler. There you go. Let's draw a light line here. Okay. Now, we are given an external point. Let us say the external point is this. So, very big point I've taken. Now, from here, what we are going to do is we just mark a point here, right? So, let me just pull the compass. Open this up. So the idea here is that all the sides are equal, right? So compass helps us to mark equal sides, correct? So let us say that is the center of this, and we open this up as shown here. Let me choose some color here, let's say blue. And what I'm going to do here is that mark this. Okay. With the same length, I'm going to keep the compass at the point where it marked on the line, as you can see, and then mark another point on the given line, correct? So that means the length, that means what? That really means that if this point is, let's say, A, and let's say the second point is B, and the third point, what we're talking about is, let's say, let's write here closer, C. Then it's very clear that so far what we got here is that AB is equal to BC, right? Because we have used the same arc length, right? Now what we are going to do is, again, maintaining the same width of the compass, we have to find a point which is same distance from C and A, right? That's the whole idea. So from A, we know it to be somewhere here, so let's mark this. Okay, let's change the color. Let it be blue. And now we'll keep this at C. And cut the arc. There you go. So what do we have? We have 4 points. The quadrilateral is made. You get the idea, right? And we just need to join them with straight lines. So, well, you could use the compass or you can use the ruler, but I'll just draw with this, right? So let me draw a line joining the points. There you go. And from here to there, perfect. And also from here to there, perfect. So actually we wanted to draw parallel lines, but we also seen how can we actually make a rhombus. You get an idea. So we have done both the things together. One, we just constructed parallel lines with method number 3, and in doing so we also created the rhombus. Perfect. So that is how we can actually learn how do we draw parallel lines. I hope you find it interesting and useful. Feel free to write your comments, share your views. If you like and subscribe to my videos, that'd be great. Thanks for your time and all the best.